This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
You've been creating content, building audience, and getting likes. Big question I have for you today: how much money have you been making out of this? If your answer is zero, today I'll show you why and what you can do to fix this in the next 90 days.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
Welcome to the JAB Show. If you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Joe Abbas Bangura, CEO and founder of Startup Body Shop, Life by Design Startup Body Shop. We have scaled at least 3 businesses and taken them from 27,000 annual turnover right up to 1.5 million US dollars. And today I have a special guest with me in the studio. Her name is ISHA, KAMARA, CEO and founder of Shidiyankay Media. ISHA, welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much, Boss J. I am so happy to be here. And, before we proceed, I think I have to take it from the top.
In fact, that's a big question. Even if it's a big question, how do you get to be here? How come you are here?
Exactly.
And obviously, it's funny. Somebody who knows you and I've been seeing you around and says, "When did I? When did this weekend go down? How did I?" So let's go. So let's answer the question. And you said you were going to give me as a surprise for the show. Well, let's go. So how did you get to be on the show?
So, the content creators training that the Ministry of Information did for us.
Did AfriCell support that?
Of course.
So so AfriCell provided the support for that. Yeah. So tell me about it.
So I was part of it, and during the closing, of course, there were 30 of us, and we were giving assignment to create content. So all of the 30 of us, we submitted, and my content happened to be one of the best 5. So during the closing, you were there as a speaker. And then you made reference to my content.
What was it about? I can't even remember what your content was about.
Community people coming together to clean their environment.
What did I say about your content? You said,
when I saw the wheelbarrow, I remember me taking a wheelbarrow and going to the communities to clean. And I'm like, God, I have created something,
No, actually, and that's a real story. I actually recall the days when I was growing up at Wellington. After the rains, there'd be so much damage in the road, and actually voluntarily myself, I would just take the wheelbarrow and just go around the street and down and just clean it. So I said, so maybe it brought back memories.
Like, oh, yes, I did something. And then, after the event, I walked up to you, and then I said, "Good afternoon, sir. How are you?" And then you said, "Aisha Kedi King." I'm like, yes.
But I remember how you introduced yourself. Yes. You were so funny, and you said Aisha Kedi King. You said that was your name.
So I remember that got stuck with you as well, and I'm like, okay, I think this is the person to talk to. So since then, the way you received me, even when I walked up to you, it made me feel like, okay, this is actually the person I am supposed to talk to. And then based on all of the other things you said, I know that you're someone I can learn from. And I like connecting with people I can actually learn from, because no matter what you have or what you do in life, you always learn. And today, I am continuing to learn. So here, right now, I am in a class.
Aisha is in a class.
Yes.
And so let's talk a bit about Aisha. Let's paint the picture about Aisha. Tell us a bit about yourself.
You
have 8+ years.
Thank you so
much. You're welcome. You're welcome. So Aisha has over 8 years experience in media and journalism. She worked with KAMARA International, several radio, TV stations and newspapers. She's been on placements at BBC Media Action, and now on social
media parading.
Tell us about your YouTube channel, Shidiyankay. Tell us about the YouTube channel you own currently.
Okay, so when I think about making content, because I have this drive to tell stories, when I think about making content, I am still focused on producing entertainment content.
As it is now, let's go to what it is now. It says it's Shidiyankay 232.
Yes.
That is your YouTube channel?
Yes, YouTube, Facebook, all other social media.
It's Shidiyankay 232. And let's talk about, you have shows currently on YouTube. You have 3 shows there. Tell us about those 3 shows.
Okay, so the first
Which are they? Just the one?
The first one is Vibes 232. And the second one is Pick Pill.
And
the other one is...
And 232 Connect.
Yes. Pick Pill actually has a lot of fans.
You had a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that. So you're running them across how many channels?
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok primarily, of course. Sometimes I post on Instagram.
And how many followers do you have across all of those platforms?
I think I have 90K followers.
90,000 followers. I've asked you for the details.
Yes.
I've asked you for the details for that. But so ISHA has 90,000 followers, more than 90,000 followers, and across all of those platforms. And big question I asked you, which is a question I'd ask even you. You have a lot of people who would be in the same boat that you're in. You're passionate about impact, and you're doing stuff. We did a show quite recently where we said, if impact and you can't make money with impact, you will struggle, you will suffer.
Sure.
For big question I asked Aisha, which is what I would ask you today. With all the big impact and dreams you have, if you're not making money, you won't go far. So I asked a question. I said, how do you make money? Today, I'll ask you the question. That's what I asked you then, and that's what I'm going to ask you today. How do you make money? And then just reflect what happened when I asked you that question.
So,
honestly,
when you asked me that question, a lot of things actually came to my mind, because how I make money is actually blurry, because there's not something put on paper to guide. So I have been creating this content, I have been building the platform, but because there was no clear footprint, the ways to make money was still like blurry until
no strategy,
until
no process,
until
you're just hoping somehow one day somebody you just hoping somebody would come and ask to pay you, to do whatever you're doing for them. So making money, you said, was just random.
It was
just a random stuff, and actually I actually went deep to ask you, for the whole year. I won't ask you that now, but take the entire 2025, whenever it was, how much money, because you have to be able to quantify this. And that's the trap that most content creators fall into. We confuse visibility with viability. That because you have these 90,000 fans, if you can't make money out of them, tough luck. And so they think I need to go for more followers. The more followers I get, the more money I make. But followers don't pay rent.
No.
They don't pay the rent.
No.
Likes don't put food on your table. And that's a very important point. Likes don't put food on your table. Followers don't pay the rent if you don't have a business model. And the business model talks about how you make money. So visibility is not equal to viability.
Sure.
That was the one big point I made to Aisha, and it's a big point we want to be able to put out to you today. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through the exact process that I went through with Aisha over the last 2 weeks. We re-engaged again. Was it before New Year or after New Year?
I think it was
We need to check the WhatsApp on who ignited the discussion again, because I know I asked you for your CV earlier.
Yes.
I'm always looking for talent, and by the way,
I had actually reached out since last year.
I know you
but
had.
because of the holidays.
The holiday.
And,
okay, so this is something I said to you. I'm always looking out for talents, even now, and we're going to maybe intensify that a bit more. We'll show you some stuff on our website, and if you think you're an asset, a talent, somebody we can help drive, over the next couple of weeks, I would be bringing up people who we're working with, young people that we're empowering, so that, again, encourage you. You think you have something that's worth my attention, and you're somebody that I can go on a journey with, worth building, something worth building, worth my attention and worth building. And so, feel free, reach out. The contacts are there. And so start up Body Shop, and, and just send it. I'm going to take you through the exact process we took Aisha through over the last 2 weeks to turn her social media assets from a passion project to something that is documented and begin to build the semblance of a revenue model, something she can make money from and earn from. So how about it? You have a deal with me? That's what we're going to be looking at today. At the Startup Body Shop, we support small businesses to scale. Keep this. And the tool we use to do this is called our scaling blueprint. The scaling blueprint is what we've used. I've told these stories over and over again, but to just establish our credibility, I may be talking to people who are meeting us for the first time. The scaling blueprint is what we use to take IDT Labs from zero. IDT Labs from zero. 5 volunteers walked to my office, led by a 22-year-old Saltin Masali, with 0 revenues. we would work with IDT Labs, raise $350,000 in 18 months of investments, debt and equity that was invested in, and in 3 years took IDT Labs to annual turnover of more than $600,000, 25 staff across 3 continents. The scaling blueprint is the same thing we used with Inky-Media. Met with Inky-Media Ishmael in April 2021, and average revenues for the previous 2 years was around $27,000, and under 4 years, for 3 years, 8 months or something or thereabout, we built that company to annual revenues of over $500,000, over $500,000. The same process is what I'm going to be talking about today. It's the same process we're taking Aisha through.
Counting in millions.
Counting in millions. but it's the same process, and that's we call the scaling blueprint. And this is built on 2 major premises. The blueprint is built on 2 major premises. The first premise is that it's called the constraint theory. And the constraint theory says in every business, there are a few things, and sometimes one, that is responsible or that is limiting the growth of the business. And what you need to do to unlock the business is to find out what that constraint is.
Yeah.
Few things that are limiting the business, and sometimes it's one. And the way to be able to just unlock and keep this business going is to find out what that constraint is, and then unlock that constraint, and then the business would grow.
So I told you all that I'm actually in class.
Yeah, class now.
Is
so give her a book so that she'll be taking notes. Can somebody? I see you should be taking notes.
Class in progress. Let's go.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah, it's right over there. But don't
okay,
worry,
we should get a notebook for Aisha. Please get a notebook for Aisha. If I say something that is new that you need to make notes, I mean, get a notebook. Get a notebook. Get a notebook for Aisha. So we'll get Aisha a notebook. But let's go back. We'll get Aisha a notebook. But listen to this. First premise of the scaling blueprint is the constraint theory. It's not 5 things, it's not 6 things. You want to unlock businesses, there are a few things that are responsible that are limiting their growth, and sometimes it's one, you have one big one. The second framework that we use in the scaling blueprint is the 5 growth levers. We call them the 5 growth levers framework. What the framework is a diagnostic tool that we use to break every business into 5 interconnected components. 5 components. And so if we are conducting this audit around where you have this constraint, it's across these 5 components. Let's talk about these components. We start first with lever 1. And you know lever, L-E-V-E-R, like Archimedes principle. Give me a lever long enough, I could move.
It's not the one from the cow.
No, it's not a lever.
Okay.
It's L-E-V-E-R.
Yeah.
So it's L-E-V-E-R. It's L-E-V-E-R. So it's okay, something you take to really give you leverage. It's from the word, it's part of the word leverage, where you could exert a force and lift something, achieve greater than even the effort, greater results and outcomes than even the effort you put into it. That's the idea about levers. So the first lever that we have to raise the business, the leverage that you would apply leverage for the business, is the question who. So we run through these 5. What's who? Who is talking about who's your ideal customer profile and your market positioning. You can't have a business. First question you answer, who am I going to be selling to? These are stuff we're going to go down to. The next question is your what. What looks at your offer. It's look at the offer and include your pricing structure. What are you selling and what's the pricing structure look like vis-a-vis the competition? The next lever is lever 3 is how do they find you? Actually, I think it's how you sell. Let's go back. We turn it around. How you sell. It's how you sell. Who are you selling to? What are you selling to them? How do you sell to them? It's the third lever. And so for the third lever, you'd have, this talks about your marketing and lead generation channels. How do people find you? How do you market? Now, of course, we'll be talking about social media and blah, blah, blah. That's how we talked about 232. If you know how you're selling, how do they find you?
Yeah.
How do people get to find you? It's the fourth lever. I keep mixing them around, but it's the fourth lever. How do people find you? And number 5, how you deliver. And the delivery how you deliver is actually talking about your fulfillment systems, your fulfillment and customer experience system. Those are the 5 levers. And what we did was to walk through these diagnostics. Once we identify your constraint, from these 5 levers, we rate them. This is what we do. We score each of them from a rate 1 to 10 using specific questions that we have. And where you have the lowest score of those levers, that is the constraint you must tackle. That is what is keeping you broke. That is what is causing ISHA to have 90,000 followers, but no money to make out of this. And for most content creators, what will be holding them back is really at lever 2, lever 1 and lever 2. Yeah. Lever 1 has to do with who are you selling to. Number 2, lever 2, what are you selling? What are you selling to them? So those are the big questions. Now, Aisha, when we first sat down, I asked you this question: who were your ideal clients? Who are the people you're selling to? Who are your ideal client profile? What's your ideal client profile? What was the answer you gave me?
Actually, I almost mentioned everybody, like women, even children, business people. I was just all over the
You
place.
had a long list, audience demographics before. You said youth, adults, women and girls, entertainers and creatives, traders and workers, religious communities, public servants, government officials, private sector professionals.
Honestly, and this is actually because when you're on social media, you're creating content, you have like almost all of these people watching your content, like they are your audience. But just like you've told me, it is not every audience
that is your client.
No.
It's not everybody that's a client. Exactly, and that's the problem. Yeah. It's not everybody that's in your audience that is a client.
No.
Can you remember? So now you have your book. I'm putting you on the spot. Who is a client? Who's really a client? You may have 90,000 followers, but who would be your client?
A client is somebody that is actually capable of doing businesses with you. Somebody that can watch out your product and say, okay, I need the service.
It's
somebody
two things. Pay. We have 2 definitions.
Somebody that can pay
somebody who's
service.
Able to pay, but what else? There's the second point.
The second point has to do with whether they need your service.
Whether they need your service. Somebody whose problem you can solve. Yeah. Everyone is an audience.
Yeah.
So I asked you these different questions. Out of all of the people who follow you, who has money and a problem that you can solve for them? Because it's funny, it's 90,000 is an audience.
It is an audience.
You have to go deep dive to sift through all these 90,000 and say,
who are your targets?
Who has money to pay? And it's funny, sometimes, if people cannot pay, they're only an audience.
It's sad.
Okay, they're only an audience. Well, it's not sad, it's life, so that you have to just know.
Audience actually, but if you are not making money, even in terms of creating what you put to them,
it limits the quality of what you can do. But anyway, that's why it's very, very important for you to know. The difference between your audience and your clients. Exactly. Your clients are people who have money to pay for what you're offering, and also they have a problem you can solve for them. So we did an exercise, which is what you do in stage 1. This is lever 1 in terms of who are your audience, who's your market, who are you selling to. We mapped out every segment of the audience, and we came up with youths. They love your content, but they can't pay. Just the mapping
now. My insights told me that.
Yeah. So that youths love your content, but they cannot pay. Yeah. Entertainers, tell me about the entertainers. What happened to them?
They can pay, but not all of them.
Not all of them, but they're looking for free promotion.
Exactly.
That's a
very big problem.
A lot of them are looking for free promotion. So, but we zoomed in and we zoomed down to 3 categories. These are categories, and who are these categories that I can pay?
Well, NGOs, of course, corporate brands, and then startups.
What kind of startups? And even if you're going down to startups, not all startups can pay.
Not all.
You have to look for startups can pay. And so keep this, it's very important. You can't measure impact without talking about money.
Sure.
You can't.
Sure.
You can't. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to grow. And so that's the key insight. This group of people
will actually be limited if you cannot show.
You will be totally limited. Yeah. So now the people that Aisha has narrowed down to, there are a couple of stuff that Aisha should be able to do with what she already has that she could package to be able to, to sell to them. they have a problem you can solve for them, and they can pay. So first big lesson we learned today is that visibility does not equal to viability. It's not the same. Not because people can see you, that doesn't mean you have a viable business to run. The second lesson, your audience do not equate to your clients, and we've defined that. And who are your clients? Are people who you could solve a problem, have a problem you could solve for them, and can pay. They are able to pay. They have the money to pay. That's the who. The whole lever. That's what it looks like. And ISHA has a lot more clarity in terms of how the breakdown of that. Then we looked at lever number 2. Lever number 2, we said it's who. The second one was what. What has to deal with the offer? What, now that you've identified them, what are you selling? And it's a funny stuff because what were you selling? Them before now. Shidiyankay 232, pick pill, you went to bow under the cotton tree and interview people in the street. It's not the interviews you're selling.
No.
There should have been, there's something behind those. So what is it? So tell us what did you tell? Okay, apart from sponsorship.
Yes.
Because you said you were going out for sponsors. What were you selling? What was the offer you were making?
No, that was before. Like I said, I still want sponsors, but now I have changed my mindset. You don't just wait for sponsors all the time. If you have the skills, you have to use the platform to sell your skills. And that's what I have actually
brilliant. So that's the thing. So if you had your skill, you don't want to use the platform. And what we're going to do, we may not be able to make clear a lot of the steps that we walk through, but you're getting the gist, you're getting the idea. You're using the platform to sell something, your skills. You have to have stuff behind the back end.
So even when you were talking about the interviews I do on the streets and all, if you are somebody that wants a professional person that can do this, you would see from those contents that, yes, she can conduct interviews. But from that perspective, there is no money.
So big question, what are you selling? And here's where most content creators get stuck.
Yeah.
They say, I create content. This is what they tell you. They will tell you that I create content, but what does that mean? What does that mean? If you say I create content, what does that mean? What's the deliverable? At what price? What are you delivering? At what price? And what's the timeline? You don't have actually a product that you could say. So what we did another exercise, and I asked ISHA, I asked you, what services do you do already? What services do you already provide that people can pay for? Even if you've been doing them for free, what did we find?
We found out several categories. Content creation is one of them. Event hosting, of course. And the content creation, just break it down a little. Yes, the content creation, you see my videos, you see my social media posts. You can also tell that I can tell stories. And then you can also tell that, okay, this is somebody we can use as an image to propagate something. Of course,
event hosting.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's just walk through that.
Another one is actually event hosting, media trainings, social media advocacy, communication strategy, and just a whole lot of other things that I've been doing that I was not even aware that, okay, these are things that you can put on document to strategize them and put them that these are things that you can offer for people to come and pay for. So now I have that all settled in one document.
It's all settled. So you have to start with definition. You have to start just defining those things. But let's go back to the revenue streams.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the revenue streams because this is what we have something that has to do with your revenue streams. You've categorized them. So let's look at those stuff that you've identified. You say you have 4 revenue streams.
Yes.
And they are broken down into one.
Personal skills monetization.
Your personal skills monetization,
yes.
Which is where the content creation and training are hidden. And then you have the platform monetization. What does that mean?
So, like you are using your platform now. It's either somebody pays you to place an advert or whatever.
So content and even the sponsors.
Yes.
This is where you can now get sponsors. That's the second stream of revenue.
Yes.
What's the third one?
digital products.
You could now do digital products. You could do courses, and you could do whether I don't know whether training goes there, but this is the fourth one: consulting and positioning. How is this going to work?
Attend events, and then you see how people use their phones, either to take pictures or to take videos, and all of those things. So this is something I know I can teach people. You
can be able to teach, and so it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
She knows how to teach that thing. She can, and again, that's why I'll get to delivery because the next step is to be able to package this.
I was going to be a teacher.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, but no. But what do you think I do on the show?
You are teaching.
I'm teaching. I'm teaching. And so you're teaching. No, you can teach. You can teach. You teach skills. You're passing on skills. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. So then we came up with a price list. Now the price list has figures, only figures at the moment, and it's funny. Let me see whether we have what we have here for price list. Now we have something here for price list, and maybe it's a wish list, because you have indicative prices of what you could do for those things, and if you break them down, let me see the categories. We had some categories there of a pricing structure. We says social media management.
Yeah.
You had content creation and storytelling, social media management. You've been doing for people for free?
Yeah.
Social media management, and you've not been charging for that. All right, we'll see how they would. Because actually, you know what's going to happen? Once you tie an outcome that's measurable, to say it's not just managing my social media, they have a goal they want to hit.
Yeah, sure.
I want to grow my followers from 5,000 to this, from this number to this number, or whatever it is the outcome. That's an easy way. But this is details, all details we could jump into. Social media management, brand and campaign promotion, event hosting and training, brand and campaign. And then you can actually do training, half-day training, full-day training. You have a pricing for them.
Sure.
So what ISHA has now is the framework. We've quoted figures here, but these figures need to be tested. They need to be vetted. But it's a starting point. It's a starting point.
Yeah.
So what is the next big question? The second lever, what are you selling? And so that is why, it's a big leap that we're making. And so third lesson to be learned, documenting. Documentation,
very important,
is better than improvisation.
Yeah.
Documentation is better than improvisation. So walking through this thing, documenting this thing is what ISHA has been able to achieve in this. Let's look at the final.
Now I'm just imagining there are people who have a lot of followers. I can't imagine like if they have something documented, because most of them are just guessing along the way.
And so they're guessing, and they don't know what they're selling, and that's why I said this is beautiful. They don't know what they're selling, and then all they look for is sponsorship. But if you have a product behind this, and we could break that down, which is what you will learn, and then this is what we do at the Startup Body Shop. What we want to do is to be able to empower you. We have the tools to be able to help you, like we're now working with ISHA to get there. You're happy, you're here, you're already here. And the third lever we're looking at, I know I told you we kept pushing back and forth in terms of how you sell and how they find you, but the lever now is how they find you. Now we know ISHA had presence on social media already, talking about how they find you. Talk about the channels you already, just repeat again the channels that you're already on.
I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn actually.
And the big question I asked you, are these platforms driving revenue for you, or is it just about engagement, more engagement?
This is actually more engagement, less revenue.
You are getting likes, you're getting comments, you're getting shares.
I'm not getting the likes, the comments, the shares, but very few people actually reach out to say, okay,
can I pay you? Can I pay you? I
can actually count the number of people that reached out to me last year for business. They are not much.
Are they up to 10? Are they up to 10?
If they are up to 10, oh God.
Maybe 3.
I'll be dashing money like.
You would have been dashing money by now.
I'll be dashing money.
So again, that's why we're saying it's don't confuse your audience from your clients. Clients are people for who you can solve problem and who have the money to pay. And it's don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for now. Say if people can't afford your service. I know.
You can't have
I know we talk a lot about doctors. So what we've worked with ISHA is to work with ISHA to reposition, answer all these questions. Who are you selling? What are you selling to them? And how do they find you with the platform that she already has? Now, the levels 4 and 5 has to do with stuff that we would not cover in the show, but those are all the details we look at the what we offer here at the Startup Body Shop. And in fact, what I would say to you, I'll throw out a call to action before we end, so that we give you the access on where you could find us. Now, we've talked about your revenue streams that you've already packaged in terms of what you're going to be taking out. What we needed to do, there was one more thing. You started putting together a media kit.
Yes, I have it well prepared.
That is version 1. It's not well prepared, is it?
I think we're still working, but it's better than it was.
It's better than it was.
Yeah.
So you have to have a media kit. You've had a draft of a media kit,
Yeah.
and the media kit demonstrates and details your demography, your shows that you've already done, platforms that you are, and your services. So that when you now reach out to NGOs and these customers, these clients that you've identified, you're not just asking them to take a chance on you. You're showing them exactly what you can deliver with a lot more certainty
as a consultant.
Yeah, and so, but we've done the revenue streams. We walk through those stuff now. So maybe what I can do for you, that's been watching us today, is so maybe give you an assignment. Give you an assignment. For those who are at home, let's give actionable steps.
Can they also do the assignment?
Yes, it's an assignment for them. Now, obviously, the next step, I would just say the next step for ISHA,
because I'm
is
not
to develop
alone
your
in this
90-day
class. I'm just the one sitting here, but you all also are part of the class.
So you're going to have a 90-day program, 90-day plan to now say, because this is just a plan, to move from plan to reality.
Yeah.
It's a big journey. Yeah. It's a big journey. So we're going to work on how do we take the 90-day, how do we take these plans that we already have, because to get the plans out of paper, that's what we're going to be working on. But for you at watching this, wherever you're watching this, I'd have to give you some actionable steps. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're a content creator, a consultant, or a service provider who's tired of trading your time for likes instead of cash, that's exactly what you need to do. And I'm going to give you a 4-week assignment so that you could begin to try out the same process. What does this assignment involve? Week 1 in the assignment, week 1 for this assignment, this is what you want to do. Out of everyone who follows you and who has money, and they have a problem that you can solve, don't forget, you have to identify, week 1, identify your ideal client. Week 1, so you're at home, your assignment for the next 4 weeks, week 1, if you follow the category of people I've just called, week 1, identify your ideal client. And who did we say is your ideal client? Not your followers, not your audience, not
your likes and comments.
Not your likes and comments. It's out of everyone who follows you, she has 90,000. The assignment she has now is to look for those 90,000 and say who has money. And it's funny when I say, okay, then people say now money man and no money for deal with no so now money no. It's business. That is why it's called business. Business trades. And every young person in this country has to learn how to do that. It's not a crime to make money. I made that mistake in my life, and I'll be 60, and I will tell you I made that mistake. I was all for impact, and I held nothing back so that I could, everything that I've done. It will be maybe all my life. It was 80% impact and maybe 20% to focus on making money. And I suffered.
The sad reality.
And I suffered.
Yes, the sad reality actually has to do with most of the things you do for free for other people. That's just a means they're also using to make money somewhere else, and you're making nothing.
You're making nothing, but I think it's a crime. Yeah. It's a crime. You don't have to do that to yourself. I said I made that mistake. I was 70%, 80%. I had a lot of good name in this country, but made very little money. Measure it with what I should be making. So I said, nah, it's not going to happen again.
It's good you're here to teach us.
Because listen to me. The more money I make, the more impact I'm going to be able to create. If you don't have money, the help and good you can do is limited to where your presence is. Bill Gates, I've said this again, I'll say this again. Bill Gates is all the way wherever he is in the United States of America. He sends out billions a year all across the world. Even Sierra Leone benefits. He may never have the opportunity to come to Sierra Leone. He may never come to Sierra Leone. But his impact can be felt because he has money. It's not a crime to make money, young people.
Money is the honey.
It's not a crime to make money.
Nah.
So your ideal client, you may have your followers. Yes, they could benefit. So all these materials that I'm pushing out, you know how many people who would say, I listen to this, I changed my life, I listen to it. It's fine. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah. So I listen to this, change my life. But so you are my audience, you're not my client. The people I'm focusing on are people who could pay. And so we're rolling out workshops. Those workshops are between $100 and $200 for a 2 days workshop, but you'd learn and you go deep dive. Like I said, if we're taking businesses from $27,000, annually to $500,000, this is not play. This is not a joke. Week number 1, who's your ideal clients? The ideal clients are those people who have money and can, they have money to pay, and there's a problem you can solve for them. Week 2, assignment for week 2, document your offer. After you've identified them, is document what are you going to sell for them. And the question is, what services do you already offer, maybe for free, that people could pay for?
Yeah.
What are you doing already that people could pay for? Now, write down every skill you have. This is the exercise you have to do. Write down every skill you have. Is it video creation? Is it hosting? Is it writing? Can you write? Can you train? And detail all of this, package each one of them with a clear deliverable price and price range to say, yes, I can do this. I think I can begin to charge for this. Try and just begin to do your price list. Then create a one-page service menu, just one page to say, these are the 4 things I do. This is what I charge with that. Don't overthink pricing like we started with ISHA. Yeah. ISHA she has some pricing here that, you will look at her and go say, come out now, so whether they pay this money. But just have the price range. Just have the price range. Don't overthink things. Just have the price range to say, this is what I'm thinking. Then you can work with it. You can adjust it as you go along. Yeah. Most importantly, you have to just have something written down. Now, what's the third week? Build your assets. Build your sales assets. Build all of those things that you would need. So a media kit, we talked about a media kit already. A brochure, something that describes who you are and what you do. Who you are, what you've done, who do you reach? Anything that describes the impact and experience you have and what you've done in the past. When people write CV, that's what they do with the CV. This is who I am. This is the qualification I have. This is how much experience I've worked with this 15. So for some of you, it's really just polish up your CVs. But it's, CV is a media kit because you're consultant. You're working for yourself, and so you do that. Or your consultant profile. I was just talking about that. Consultant profile. What experience do you have? What clients? Who are the clients you've served in the past? What services do you provide? Yeah. So you have to have that documented. And then, third, you could have your pitch email. That means thereafter an email that you say, this is the email, this is the template, an email template that you would use to send to this client. You don't have to be fancy with this. You just have to have something. Maybe it's Google Doc, whatever you design. Draft your first email, that you use as a letter correspondence that you'll reach out to the clients. So what's happening week 4? Week 4, reach out to 10 organizations that you know or brands that you know with the email, attach your media kit or your professional profile that you have prepared and begin to reach out. Don't wait for them to come find you. You have to go find them.
Yes.
That is 4 weeks. Begin to practice this. Drop your comments in this show, and share with us whatever experience you have.
If you don't find them, how can they know you exist?
Yeah, you have to go find them. If you want to go deeper, we've given you 4 weeks of assignment. But if you want to go deeper beyond this 4-week plan, there's a diagnostics. You could actually access our free diagnostics that is on our website, www.startupbodyshop.com. Go to product, and then you would see diagnostics. Complete the diagnostics there. That's one way we could take this forward. www.startupbodyshop.com. Go to products, and now go to this diagnostic audit, whatever it is. So let's see if we can get it here, but it's actually the diagnostics audit. And what it does, it gives you, yes, its product and its constraint audit. So if you have a business that you run, you could actually complete this constraint audit. It has all of these 5 questions that are based on the lever: the who, what, how you sell, how they find you, how you deliver. We didn't talk about how you deliver, but if you're a business and you think you're somebody who could benefit from the services you provide here, go fill that one out, and then we could be able to we'll get back to you and see if you are a fit for what we do. So Aisha, thank you for being so transparent.
Yes, the one and only students live
in class. But we had a lot more. But thank you, Aisha, for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today and being so transparent about your journey. I know this is going to help a lot of people like you, content creators who are out there who are stuck. That is actually
why I'm really happy to come here, sit and talk about it, because I know that there are lots of content creators out there that actually need this. We talk about Sierra Leone digitizing and making money.
And this is where we're going.
Yes.
I have no doubt in my mind some things have been shared that's inspired young people like you.
Yeah.
Now, but Aisha, what would be a word that you could take away that you think young people who are watching this should take away today?
So if there's one thing I want to say to people today, you don't just need more followers. You don't just need more content. You need a system. Once you have that system, you're good to go, because even the organizations that will reach out to you, organizations that actually want more impact, they don't just look for followers. They look at what you can impact in their organizations. So have your thing strategized, and that is why I am really, really happy for this moment you're giving me, and I'm happy that I am able to share what we went through till this point, so that other people can also feel inspired to come to Startup Body Shop and do the same. Maybe you can even benefit more than I do.
90 days, obviously, you have to just be careful. That's what I'm saying is that we can only take people who can pay.
Yes.
That's lesson number 1, not audience, not everybody says, so we're client. Because actually, so this is a studio. If you see the gadgets and everything here, it has to be paid for.
Yeah.
So the only way we can do this is to, again, that's why I said it's business. So for the rest, just watch on my YouTube channel. Watch on my YouTube channel and grow. But if you know you can afford, you can pay, and then those are the ones we bring in, because we're living what we're preaching. Well, this has been the JB Show. If you find this episode valuable, please like it, subscribe, and share it with a content creator or any young person who's interested in building a business and who needs to hear this. Please do. Until next week, keep dreaming, keep designing your dream life. It's a life by design.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.